All right, welcome back, and of course we're still having our conversation and unpacking, the news review here, and just introduce the panel once more. We have Honorable Nyamweus, Member of Parliament of South Mogirago, Senator John Lonyangapuo of West Pokot, nominated Senator Brutus Elachi, and Deputy Governor Jonathan Mweke, who are joining us in this conversation as well. Now, I want to delve into Nairobi politics. Of course, there's still an offshoot of the conversations that are going on, and since the quote-unquote honor of Nairobi is here, and the honor now, we don't know what's going to happen later. There's a lot of talk, of course, of you are saying that the governor saying he's confident he's going to be re-elected. On the other hand, the Jubilee Party saying they are going to give us the flag bearer pretty soon, and we're going to be looking at a story shortly. But maybe what are your immediate thoughts of what is happening in your camp and what is happening in the Jubilee camp?
Nairobi politics has created quite a buzz, not just in Nairobi but nationally, on several reasons. It's being seen as a launch pad to the presidency, and that's why you're seeing people like Peter Kenneth coming into the race because he wants to be president in 2022. And you can hear the whole story of Kiambu has gotten presidency twice, Nyeri has gotten presidency, Murang'a has not gotten. So it's Murang'a's turn now in 2022 to go. That's why Peter Kenneth is coming. For myself and the governor, we've just been very steadfast, and I think our message has been very simple, that in Nairobi you have all the communities in the entire country. They come to Nairobi to look for a living, they come to Nairobi to raise their children, and Nairobi is for everybody. So even as we do our daily jobs, not even withstanding being an election year and we are going to look for votes, what we always think about first of all in Nairobi, first and foremost, is cohesion. How do we serve everybody equally? How do we ensure that all the communities who live with each other live in harmony and there's no discrimination, and so on and so forth? And I think for us that has been our #1 priority, and that is how we have run Nairobi. And I can tell you we have seen tremendous results. That's why the governor even says that he's confident he'll win, because the results are there of our leadership and what we've been able to do, first and foremost, bringing people together. Once you bring people together, then you can do all these other things that we've been doing, of putting street lights, of making sure that children are in school, of making sure that people go to hospitals and find them working 24 hours with medicine and so on and so forth. All those things come second. So it worries me that our opponents are thinking now tribal, where they are saying that Nairobi belongs to a certain community, so that certain community are the only ones who can have a governor here. And you have seen that push and pull. And the person I feel pity for most actually is Sonko. Yeah, because Sonko, him being the senator of Nairobi, he was the first one to declare 3 years ago he wanted to be the governor. But because Jubilee is seeing this as the capital city and it must be controlled by certain people, they skipped him. They brought Dennis Waweru. Then Dennis Waweru didn't work. Then they went and brought Wamalwa because they were looking at 2022 succession, who's not going to oppose the deputy president then. Then Wamalwa tried 2 meetings in Nairobi, was rejected. Now they've brought Peter Kenneth, who the deputy president should be very scared, because Peter Kenneth is not coming to Nairobi to bring services to Nairobi or to do anything development-wise in Nairobi. He's coming to Nairobi so that he can be relevant and so that he can use it as a springboard to run for presidency in 2022. And that's the fact. You can even see the politics. And so desperate our opponents that now I hear over the weekend they got an MOU on how everybody will get a job. Sakaja will be a campaign manager here, Sonko should stay in the Senate, Peter Kenneth will be the candidate, Margaret Wanjiru will be put in cabinet. I think they forgot Dennis somewhere. Right. But they're just sharing now those jobs.
In that regard, let's take a look at that story, and then we'll come back. I see Senator Brutus Elachi is burning. I will allow you to finish, and then I'll go to Senator Brutus Elachi, who is showing shock. Now, Nairobi Governor Dr. Evans Kidero has expressed confidence of being elected, saying the opposition coalition was well ahead of Jubilee in the registration of voters. Jubilee members, on the other hand, have rubbished claims of a breakup while promising to come up with one flag bearer for the governor's seat. Let's take a look.
is the top seat in Nairobi that continues to attract more candidates, especially from the two main political formations, CORD and Jubilee. Speaking after attending a church service at PCEA Karen in Nairobi, Governor Evans Kidero expressed confidence about retaining his seat.
Nairobi is corded, and CORD will take a majority of the seats in Nairobi, both at the parliamentary level and at the civic level.
But legislators from the Jubilee side are jostling for a chance to unseat the ODM man, despite the emergence of two camps, one led by Maina Kamanda and the other led by Nairobi Senator Mike Mbuvi. In a bid to calm the tension that is threatening to split the ruling party, Starehe MP Maina Kamanda has rubbished claims of a breakup, promising they will eventually settle on one candidate.
Hatuna pita Jubilee. Jubilee tutakuwa na candidate mmoja, yule atakuwa flag bearer na huyo ndio atashida.
A view that Peter Kenneth, whose entry into the 2017 Nairobi governor race shook up the status quo in Jubilee, concurs.
Whether it's consensus or nomination, we are ready. But we must take the best interest of Jubilee as a party in Nairobi.
If they feel it is somebody else who will actually transform the city, I will support that person 100%. It is not a matter of life and death.
The stakes are high, and the city in the sun is definitely giving politicians a run for their money as the general election draws nearer. Denis Otieno, Citizen TV.
Right, indeed, the stakes are high, and of course, I'll still give you a chance to finish, but I have to take, because I saw the shock.
Yeah, just 1 minute, I'll wind up.
All right, so go ahead.
So I'll wind up. So what I was saying, Willis, is Jubilee and CORD, led by Dr. Kidero and myself, we are on completely two different wavelengths. Yeah, Jubilee is thinking of how we can come to control the city for the sake of controlling the city and for the sake of one community, while us in CORD, we are thinking, how are we going to serve everybody and move Nairobi ahead? Now, I'll give you a very good example. I've seen what the governor has said. I saw it yesterday, that he's confident CORD will win. I'll tell you why. Philip Kisia the other day said something on the newspapers that Nairobi has done nothing, or the governor has done nothing, and myself have done nothing. But if you look at facts, and these facts are there, in 2013, when the governor and myself took office, we were ranked the second worst city in the world to live in by the livability report done by the Economics magazine. Second worst. We were behind Tehran in Iran. It meant that even it was better to live in Iraq than in Nairobi. Just last week, forget about all the other reports that have been there progressively. Just last week, the Global Cities Report has ranked us the top 5 investment destinations worldwide. Just last week, we have been named number 10 by the JLL Momentum Index with ranked cities. We've been named number 10 in the world, and the only city in Africa to be in the top 20 as the most dynamic city in the world. So you can see where we have been able to move a city from being the second worst to live where everybody wants to come and put their money in only 4 years. And that's why we are confident that we are not worried what the Jubilee things are doing. Peter Kenneth, tell me, he's been seen everywhere in Nairobi. Tell me one MP who's not Kikuyu that you have seen him with. Tell me one MCA who's not Kikuyu that you have seen him with. And while us, the Kikuyus are the businessmen here in the county. We've taken care of their interests by creating a level playing field, a level business environment that's conducive for everybody. And that's what Nairobi is. Nairobi is for everybody.
Okay, let's go ahead and listen to Senator Elachi, and you know who.
Thank you, Governor. Courtesy of Uhuru Kenyatta.
You're welcome, Senator.
And his tour to global and bringing all the presidents to Kenya. Thank God he has brought back Nairobi. If it was Governor Kidero and his deputy governor, today will be the last. Forget we were the last.
But facts don't lie, Senator.
For me, I don't want facts, because we voted for these guys and we left Waitito. First of all, it was not the issue of Kikuyu or what, because Waitito was on a ballot and was a Kikuyu. But Kenyans in Nairobi believed the governor would be a good manager. I mean, it's good to be honest. On this one, we never gave votes to Kidero because he was coded. No. We gave Kidero because people believed, even Kikuyus, some of them believed he's a manager. Now Waitito with his politics, how will Nairobi be? But look at how you have disappointed us. And I want to tell you for free, those Nairobians who gave you the vote, who believed in you people, the only thing they are asking, forget about all the other things. Number one, garbage, just that. Just that. Go all over. It's unfortunate. Go to Kawangware today. Until we've had to now buy machines for young people to do the plastics, because when you look at it, it's like an eyesore in your eyes when you walk in. Go to the markets. And I have said this, Governor, and Governor has listened to me here. I've repeated, and when I tell, it's like I'm giving them a hint. Go and do a few things that people believed in now and see whether they will think better. You don't want to hear, you still. The issue of how Nairobi has evolved, that is because of Uhuru, by the way. We should not take his...
that's not true.
No, it is true, because
can't be true.
It is his meetings that has brought in people, that made people believe you can invest in Kenya. Forget just Nairobi.
But if Nairobi was a mess,
in Kenya,
why would people want to come?
Two, when I walked in, I told my governor, I am sad. In Nairobi, many young people have turned out to survive as gangs. I am sad. If they are good in terms of developing Nairobi, the first thing you go is to see how the slums will move to a betterment of someone, so that you change the mind of that person, that he does not believe I have to survive in being rough for me to survive in the city. That one, they should deal with it. It is something that will hurt them in terms of their development, because we have very many, and they had an opportunity. We have many things these young people would have done. Take them into groups, make them even have groups of environment. Give them this city. Let them just do anything they believe in, flowers, watering, and pay them some incentives that you're giving your ward, what they call those structures of theirs, to just manage. Three, you had an opportunity Kenyans gave you. You have ward representatives. They would have told you priorities. Today, I speak, I want to vie in Dagoretti Northeast. When you go to 56, and I want them to walk one day, they normally come with a group of each to protect them from another gang. And if the governor is saying I'm lying, then let us walk in 56 and tell me. Young people will tell you, these are our peers. Some of them, you know, have small arms. I've even had to send now and check, how do we help them? And they'll tell you, we are waiting for the governor. He normally comes with some money. I mean, it's serious. So we have to be very careful, or else they will turn to us, because they feel you are the ones carrying everything. So for me, let's now go to the package of Nairobi. We have 2 or 5 or 10 of them. And nobody is coming, because but when you put Peter Ken Kikuyu, do you know, even if we speak, everyone will look at him, Muzungu, sijui what. So the Kikuyu catch is not catching as you would have wished, because the propaganda now, when you hear an opponent in fear, is when you prepare propaganda to send to the people. That now Peter Ken is coming to be 2022, that one will come at that time. He even doesn't know, even the deputy president doesn't know, even me, that we shall be there in 2022. So that one is prepared by a different way, and God knows who will be the president in 2022. But having said that, we cannot propel propaganda on Peter Ken that he has now come to make this. Then Dr. Kidero has prepared himself. After finishing governor, he's taking over Tinga then. If that is the platform we are giving Nairobi, there is only Lua that I can see who will come out and take over from Tinga. Is that what we want to say?
Right.
No. It will be unfair also to the governor. So for me, whoever takes over Nairobi must serve Nairobi. Nairobi is a city of everyone. The Kisis are here. The Luyas, we are here. You know, when he speaks, I get a bit, again, frustrated, because I am imagining how Luyas supported the governor, and today, where they are, is unfortunate, very unfortunate.
Right. Of course,
yes.
We also want to get a view of, you know, let's call it for now an outsider's view from from both our guests on this side as well. Let's start with you, Mheshimiwa Nyamweya. What are your view of this Nairobi, the Nairobi politics, and how does it stay for the rest of the gubernatorial seats across the country as well?
Thank you very much. You know, I'm interested to be a governor in Kis County.
Right.
My interest will be in Kis. I cannot comment about Nairobi, and that's where my interest is at the moment. You know, in Kis, where I come from, we have got Governor Ongwae. He has been funded up to the tune of that 2 billion shillings in the last 4 years, but there's nothing you can show he has done. From my constituency, South Mugirango, I can count for every pen for my CDF. I can show the schools which have built and have touched in every primary school has benefited from my funds in CDF. You can see the roads, the small money I'm using. I've improved the roads just by putting more on. It's not more than that. The price is moderate. I can tell you that I've partnered with RARE to get power supply, where I give 10 million shillings or 20 million. RARE gives their share, and then I, plus the normal budget allocation, you find a more power supply, which has gone to schools, which has gone to the marketplace. It's unfortunate. I started a water project that was removed. It went to the county government. So as an example, I can tell you, bursary in my constituents, I've used that small money to help the very poor to go to school. And it's evident that I've worked. My constituents, I can say, I'm proud to say so, that at the moment it's the most motorable constituents when it's raining or not in the entire of Kis County. You cannot see the money the county government has brought. And the other day, unfortunately, we had the report from the Auditor General, where I said that the count cannot account for 7.2 billion shillings. Now, I'll tell you, a road from Kisii to Kilgoris costed 1.2 billion shillings to build. If you take care of inflation costs, the bill will be around 1.8 or 1.9.
Right.
The 7.2, which it's not a report now, which the government cannot account where the money has gone, could have given us 3 roads similar from Kisii to Kilgoris. So when you look at accountability, and I'm now specifically talking about Kis County, of course there are other candidates who, were standing, and there was an MOU which was there earlier. Senator Bray was the one who brought up Ongwae campaign for him. He knew Ongwae better than me. They're almost age mates. They have worked in the civil service together. So he cannot turn around and say,
right,
now Ongwae is a bad man. And I can tell you for free, even the time of nomination, as much as I was in court, I said Ongwae is the wrong man to be our governor. And people, of course, felt very bad when I said that. I said it, and I was very clear. Because at that time, I felt if we give him the chance, we will not be able to deliver. We will get the wastage which we are having at the moment. So, it shocks me around that now Senator Bure wants to be a governor. And surely, if there's an MOU which has not worked between 2 of them, he should follow the MOU. And he was a guarantor during the time. He said, please trust me, watch my age. I cannot get you somebody who's going to mess you up. And I want him to keep his word.
Right.
All right?
Okay.
So I cannot comment about Nairobi because my interest in this issue.
Okay, but all right.
I'm going to Kisii County.
Right.
All right?
Okay.
And if what's happening in Kisii is what's happening in Nairobi, there it is. All right? But my concern and my focus now is in Kisii County, what we can do to improve the Kisii County.
All right, of course, right. So, and also we just also invite Senator Nyangapuo to, definitely, while of course your interest may be somewhere else, there is the view of, either the party you represent or of what you see happening both here in Nairobi and what impact it might have in, other places and other gubernatorial races in terms of the party politics at play. Maybe you could comment on that before we go back to Deputy Governor.
I will comment about Nairobi. I will not talk about West Pokot. Nairobi is a name that if you Google, you will have to be told where Nairobi is. So the most common name that can easily be associated with Kenyans is Nairobi and Kenya. Before all these other names come, and other counties and other towns. So the only thing that I will beg to ask Kenyans to be keen on is not to drag communities into the race in Nairobi, where you talk about Kikuyus because Peter is a Kikuyu, where you talk about Kambas because Songo is a Mkamba, where you talk about Kidero because Kidero is a Luo. When we are here in Nairobi, remember all senators reside in Nairobi. So the sum total of our leadership behavior, if there will be any value and any credit that Nairobi also gets, who told you that it might not have emanated also from our presence the way we are? Governors, most of them stay here. The president stays here. The former presidents also stay here. The former leadership has been here. So everybody is looking to Nairobi, and we are praying for the people of Nairobi to elect a leader, not on a tribal inclination and not on a tribal eye. So I want to request that we should not malign Peter Kenneth, we should not malign Kidero, we should not malign all these others in the context of where they come from. Let us look at what they are capable to deliver. Look at the history, what people have been able to do. Look at their current agenda. Can they deliver it? You know, you can test an agenda somebody is trying to tell you. Some of them may want to cheat just to get the position. But you look at what and you test the agenda they have. So I want to wish well the people of Nairobi and to tell them that we are your subjects, although we don't vote for you, but we get the services right. Lastly, Deputy Governor, you are grass, although there is no water, but you need to do something. I know the little water you have now, you are using it for domestic consumption. But the beauty, we want to come from the airport, we want to see this is now the capital city of the Republic of Kenya. The highway should look great. I know it's not you alone, but you can link up together with the national government to see that this works. So everybody is voting for you. So I mean, we will only lastly ask that we should not adulterate the votes of Nairobi by bringing strangers here. Bring a lot of people here. Somebody is complaining that voters have been moved from wherever, who are picking tea elsewhere. Can they vote where they are because they need services there? You know, when you are picking tea, you need good roads there, you need water there, you need your kids to be given bursary. But now when you export your vote to another place where you are not going to get it, just because you have been given 500 shillings, which ends, and you can calculate your lifestyle, 500 bob divided by 365 days times 5. Those are cents. They are not equivalent to what you are trying to. So in short, we wish well Nairobi, but so long as you don't go beyond the fights that we witness elsewhere.
Of course, Bona Deputy Governor, when you say that that there's a lot of development that you brought, Senator Lachi said that most of it has been brought by President Uhuru Kenyatta and his efforts, and now there's also been the mention of the grass. Will the legacy be the grass, or is there anything else?
No. I'll tell you, Willis. Listening to Senator Elachi has just shown me that she probably doesn't understand Nairobi very well, and I'll tell you why. When you get some of these indicators, the world over, how people choose where they're going to go live, work, where they're going to take their children to school, is based on some indicators, some things that the city must do to get that kind of a status. And we've been ranked internationally. It's about security. We had 20,000 streetlights in Nairobi when we came in. 10,000 of them working, 10,000 of them not working. Now we have 60,000 streetlights in Nairobi. What has that done? It's made sure that businesses now can stop closing at 6 p.m. Nowadays they close at 10. It means that women can walk with their telephones at 6 o'clock in the morning. Some of them go running when they're doing their exercise. Those are indicators to show that this is a safe place to live. That had nothing to do with the president going abroad to visit other presidents. Another indicator is on healthcare. If you are sick, can you find a hospital and medicine? That's another indicator where people choose if they want to go and do business or live in an area. You've seen what we have done with Mutwini Hospital, with the maternity, with Pumwani. Before, 40 kids used to be born a day. Now 120 kids are born a day. You've seen what we've done in Bagathi, where there's 120 modern morgue for bodies and so on and so forth. Those again are indicators that you see we are being ranked, that this is now where people want to come and live. Remember again, we were ranked the 3rd worst city. That has nothing to do with the president going out to visit another president somewhere in another part of the world. Yeah. You have infrastructure, the roads, the bridges. You have cleanliness. You know, a senator is talking about garbage. When we came in, every Nairobian generates half a kilogram of garbage a day. Approximately 3,000 tons a day are generated here in Nairobi. When we came in, we were collecting only 670 tons of the 3,000. Now we're almost at 2,900. So when the senator says there's a heap of garbage somewhere, there could only be 2 reasons. Either somebody came and dumped, or it's a collection point where we have gathered garbage from all over your neighborhood. We have put it at a collection point for a truck to come and pick up. And that's why we've bought almost 50 to 60 new trucks a day. Now, these are indicators that don't lie. And when you start doing these things as the person who's in charge of Nairobi, and I'm shocked that the senator has downgraded the president to the level of a governor, because these things can only be done by the manager who manages the city, which is the governor of Nairobi. So when the governor does these things and you see the results, that's when these global people who rank cities start ranking Nairobi as #1 in foreign direct investment. We've overtaken Johannesburg, Cairo, Lagos. Now we are #1. It has nothing to do with the president going out somewhere. It has all these indicators. Now, again on the tribal thing, you know, Senator Letch is asking what we have done for Luyas. Now, surely, the only way I can answer that question, Senator, if you go to Pumwani right now, and you see out of the 120 mothers who have given birth today, by the end of the day today, I'm sure you'll find some Luyas there. If you go to the market there at 56 Kawangware Market, and you find those women and those men selling their wares at 10 p.m. at night because now there's street lights and there's security, I'm sure you'll find some of them are Luyas. If you go to the ECD centers, and we have put 40 of them, and you see the young people who are 6 years old now learning in a good environment, I'm sure you'll find some of those kids are Luyas. And that's what you do. You don't do things for communities. You do things so that everybody who lives within that jurisdiction, like the Senator Nlonyangatua has said, are able to benefit from your leadership. Right. So anyway, the president, hold on a second. So the president the president visiting abroad has nothing to do with where Nairobi has gone. Well, the former president used to also visit abroad, but we were ranked the 2nd worst city to live in the world, next to Iran, because of who? Philip Kisia was the manager. We have 2 minutes to and now wants to be a deputy governor.
For me, governor, when I talk of garbage, today kindly just go and remove the one that is in Mugiti.
And hold on a second, on security. Just I finished just one thought. She talked about gangs. Yeah, gangs and guns are the preserve of the national government. So please tell Jubilee minister in charge of internal security to go and pick up those guns from the young boys. The governor can't do that.
Okay. Governor, by the way, it is very serious. You know, you're making it a political issue, but I was just trying to say there are very serious issues, Nairobians. All these people are Nairobians and we pay tax. Now, if you go to now that you're talking, let me talk of what the governor would have done for us to feel that we are moving on as a city.
In 1 minute.
In 1 minute. One, I want you to go and look at your rates. You have given us very high rates. People are paying those rates. Then let people have space to do their trade. Because in Nairobi, the only thing people can survive on in the informal sector is that economic empowerment. So if you just do that to Nairobians, I think even the gangs we are talking about will have something to do, because what is killing them now, it is the rates that the county governments have brought in. Very high rates, very less minimum services that they give us. I will end with that.
All right, of course, we'd like to say thank you so much. We just, okay, 30 seconds.
You require goodwill from the president.
Absolutely.
Every county must require goodwill from the national government. So, I mean, so we cannot say the 100% of what you have just said has come from yourself alone. But the goodwill and the great working relation that has been there, it should also be credited.
All right, of course.
And they should tell us the budget of branding. How much have you spent to brand and bring Nairobi where you're saying? It is the national government that has spent that money.
Of course, this conversation will go on. We'd like to thank everybody for coming in. Of course, Deputy Governor Jonathan Mweke, Nominated Senator British Elachi, West Pokot Senator John Langopo, and MP for Mugirango, Honorable Nyamweru. I'd like to say thank you so much for coming and for your comments as well. You know, you can still talk to us using the hashtag Power Breakfast. Today we're also learning about the business of beauty, and no politics there. It's just looking beautiful. So we'll go ahead and cross over to her, and we'll keep on the Power Breakfast. Good morning.